Did you know there's a place where the lights still turn on at night, even though no one's there to flick the switch? A village stuck in time, and no one can figure out why. Strange, right? You'd think something like that would be impossible, but sometimes things just don't make sense. This story takes us to a small, forgotten village, deep in the mountains. It's the kind of place you never hear about unless you're a local, and even then, people talk about it like it's cursed. The villagers, they don't like visitors. They'll tell you it's for your own good. But one guy, a journalist named Tom, didn't listen to the warnings. He had heard the rumors, seen the reports, but he didn't believe in ghost stories. So one evening, he packed up his gear, told his friends he was heading out for a scoop, and made his way to the village. When he arrived, everything felt too quiet. The air was thick, almost like it was holding its breath. Not a single person in sight. The streets were empty, and the houses, though old and run down, looked strangely well kept. Almost as if someone had been cleaning them at night, wiping the windows, watering the flowers. But the most bizarre thing? The lights. Every single house had its lights on, shining bright through the windows. Every single one. But there was no one around, not a soul. Tom figured maybe it was some old tradition. Maybe the village was just behind the times. But something didn't feel right. The hairs on the back of his neck stood up. As he wandered deeper into the village, he began to hear faint whispers. Not voices, but more like static, crackling from somewhere far away. He tried to shake it off, thinking it was just the wind, but the whispers grew louder the further he went. Tom knew something was off, but he couldn't put his finger on it. He stumbled upon a small pub at the end of the village. The door creaked open, and the dim light inside flickered. It was strange. The pub was completely empty, yet the light overhead flickered like someone had just turned it on. Tom walked up to the bar, noticing the dusty bottles, the cracked chairs, the neglected tables. Yet, the lights were still on. An old man, hunched over, sat at the far corner. His eyes glinted in the dim light as he looked up at Tom. "What do you want, boy?" the man asked, his voice gravelly. Tom sat down cautiously. "I'm just looking around. Never seen a village like this before." The old man stared at him for a long moment, then muttered, "You shouldn't be here. No one ever leaves this place once they come." Tom laughed it off. "You can't be serious. There's nothing wrong here." The man's lips curled into a strange smile. That's what they all think. Suddenly, Tom's phone buzzed in his pocket. He glanced at the screen. No signal. Confused, he stood up. "I need to get out of here." As he turned to leave, the door slammed shut on its own. The lights flickered out, plunging the room into darkness. A cold chill swept over him. He fumbled for his phone, trying to get some light. The whispers grew louder now, almost like voices angry, pleading. "Leave. Leave now." Tom felt a hand on his shoulder. He spun around, but there was nothing there. The pub door flung open, revealing the rest of the village, dark and empty. Heart racing, Tom ran out. But the moment he stepped outside, the lights in every house flickered back on, like they were watching him. Every street lamp flared to life, casting long, eerie shadows across the road. The village was silent, except for the sound of footsteps. They were following him. His legs burned as he ran through the streets, but no matter how fast he went, the lights never stopped following him. He turned a corner and saw them figures, standing in the distance, just watching. They were shadowy, blurry, with glowing eyes. The whispers grew louder, more desperate now. Leave. Leave before it's too late. Tom didn't stop running until he hit the main road. But when he looked back, the village was gone. Just gone, like it had never existed. All that remained were the lights, still glowing in the night, as if they had always been there. The next morning, Tom's friends went to look for him. They found his car parked at the edge of the village. But Tom? He was nowhere to be found. No one talks about the village much anymore. But those who know the story, they say that if you drive down the old mountain roads late enough at night, you'll see it. The light's still on. And if you stop to look too long, you might hear whispers on the wind telling you to leave before it's too late. But do you know the name of this place? The place where the lights still turn on at night? It's called Hollowbrook Village, and it's a place where no one ever stays for long. Trust me, you don't want to be the next one to find out.